Hello there, Moletrap here, and I figured I'd start this VOD a little bit early so you could see the new eSTRO uniforms, by the way, in case you haven't seen them yet. That's maGma from eSTRO on the left there, and of course on the right, that's Flash in the rather plain KTF uniforms. Their uniform is like a shirt. Some people have like crazy like motorcycle jacket type stuff going on, and some teams just have shirts with their logo. Yeah, and sometimes even other teams' logos because, as someone else pointed out once, Calf is actually a clothing company, and so some of the other pro teams, their jerseys are actually made by the company Calf. So sometimes there's like, I forget which team it is. Maybe it was no, I forget. One of the teams has their logo on the front and then the Calf L on the side. It's kind of interesting thing here. So this is the second game of the set between eSTRO and KTF, and the first game was a long friggin' TVT that I honestly didn't even watch because I saw it was long. And actually, one of the reasons why I did this game is that this is Flash has become recently the main slaughterer of Zerg players, and I noticed that this game was actually kind of a long game, and that's why I decided to do it, because that meant that maGma must have put up a damn good fight. So I'm interested to see how well of a fight he puts up. Before I get into this too much, I have a couple things though. First of all, shout out to my brother. I just found out, I knew my brother had seen a few of these commentaries, but I didn't know that he watched them regularly. So, and I would mention you by name, but I guess I should probably check to see if you want me to first before I just go saying stuff like that or anything like that. Anyway, yeah. Also, shout out to Diggity's roommate, who apparently I also found out listens to these, so that's cool. Actually, I don't know if he listens to mine. I know he listens to Diggity's at least. In any case, yeah. Moving on. Before the game gets too involved here, there is one other thing actually that I wanted to talk about. I'm going to get up on my soapbox here a little bit. And basically, actually, maybe I won't get on my soapbox yet because this is a long game, so hopefully I'll have some time to talk about it later. But it looks like Flash has actually gone for a 2-racks build, which is amazing because Flash, it almost always, almost every single game, he just expands like crazy. And someone was telling me, I think Dady was telling me that one of the things that he attributes his success to is just expanding like crazy all the time, and he just keeps expanding, it keeps macroing. He's a freaking macro beast, and that is how he's been such a powerful player recently. But he's not, in fact, just going straight into macro mode right off the bat. He's sending out a quick marine here. He's got 2 barracks, and I don't think he went for rush barracks. I think he just went for normal, 10 barracks or what, barracks after 10 or 11 or whatever. And then got a second barracks though, so it's not quite like a cheese rush, but he is rushing, and he's not just going for macro mode. He's not getting that command center, so it looks like he's kind of threatening to do a bunker rush here. The hatchery has not quite come in yet, and we'll have to see if it actually. Okay, the hatchery has come in yet, and he's not making a bunker there. Okay, so this is not ended up being a bunker rush, but he is trying to pick off some drones. You saw he went in there with that scout early, and he was able to see that maGma didn't have his pool up yet by the time his marines were out, so he decided to just basically do some kind of harassment, try and pick off some drones. He has picked off a few drones, and now he's basically just putting some pressure on maGma, making him build links, making it so he can't get his economy up. And now he's going to try and pick off some more drones, using that little choke point to his advantage, trying to put the SCV in the choke, but the SCV was not able to completely protect those marines. One marine running around desperately trying to survive, and he's got enough marines behind that little choke point there that he can. But now he's just moving in completely. maGma with several lings, but I don't think he quite has enough to deal with these marines, especially with Flash doing some very good microing his marines around. By the way, for those of you that don't know what I mean when I say he's microing, occasionally I like to. I know people that watch these all the time, you're going to know, but some people don't watch these all the time, so I like to slip things in like that. But what I mean is, he's moving his marines out of the way. So while one marine is moving away, so let's say that the Zergling was attacking the marine in front. If he moves his marine off to the left, then while the Zerglings are chasing that marine to the left, the other marines are firing. So it's time spent where Flash is getting attacks in, and maGma's lings are not. Oh, Flash trying to run back to his base. His lings, if those lings were speed upgraded, those Marines would be totally gone. But it looks like a couple are going to escape into that choke. Just one actually is going to get away, and he's able to use that choke point there to to fend off those Zerglings. There were just only one or I think only one Zergling can actually fit through that little choke point at a time, and so it's basically impossible for maGma to break that through that little choke. He can go around the opposite side, obviously, and that's why Flash has put up that bunker. And he's going to need to fall back to that bunker now. I think he's got Marines in it already. Yeah, he does. But yeah, basically only one Ling could sit there at a time and attack the Marine in that little choke point, and that would allow Flash to get a lot more firepower off on the Lings, because obviously Marines can fire from behind each other. So, a little bit of an exciting beginning there, after all. And now both players going back into macro mode. You can see a lot of drones hatching and a lair going down for maGma, and Flash getting his command center going for his macro mode as well. And this is something actually I've seen some players do this. I think almost accidentally lately. But I think that they should do it more often. Terran players just setting in like an SCV or two and like a Marine or two, and you really throw off the Zerg because they go, oh my god, I'm gonna get bunker rushed. Oh my god, I'm gonna get bunker rushed, and they bring out all their drones, and it really slows down their mining time a lot. So I think it's something that you could even do just as like a fake. Just send in like a couple Marines and a couple SCVs, and you don't lose very much for just sending in that much forces. But then you gain a lot by making them lose a lot of mining time early on in the game. Okay, let's see if I have time to get on my soapbox now. What I want to talk about here is okay. Sorry, real quick. So maGma going in. No, he's not going in. But the Flash setting up his base really, really nicely. That Comsat center actually blocking off uh, that bunker as well. So that bunker is going to be really hard to crack. maGma is basically not going to be able to crack into that. If there's Marines in that bunker, he's not going to be able to squeeze through there well enough, especially with the SCVs nearby. And now there's medics out, so that's pretty much useless. maGma's just going to have to chill outside that base and just kind of keep those Lings there to keep Flash pinned in a little bit and see when Flash decides to move out. And Flash actually moving out down the middle there instead of going down the big ramp. Not terribly surprising. He knows those Lings are over there. I thought he might. Oh, maGma going? No, maGma's not going in after all. Just faking him out over and over again. I almost would have expected Flash to go up that ramp and just try and push those Lings back, try and pick off a few Lings while he was at it. So he's just kind of moving out here. It doesn't look like he's actually moving out. He was just almost, and this is again something that players do sometimes. They'll just kind of move their Marines out of their base just to fake like maybe they're going to do a push and try for a sunken break. And this is something that Klazart was actually mentioning the other day. Well, a lot of eggs going up. Those were almost all mutalisks. Or those are all almost surely all mutalisks. But yeah, Klazart was mentioning that Flash doesn't go for the sunken break very much. He doesn't go for it. And he's just very, very content, as Klaus puts it, to just sit back and go for a more long-term game, long-term macro game. In any case, so now Flash, he feels he has enough units. He's going to need to clear out that space because he's going to need a mobility more than that blockade. That blockade was for the Lings when he didn't have many Marines, but now he's going to need the mobility to really run his Marines back and forth between his bases. He might need to run his Marines into his supply lines there at his expansion. And by the way, this is Blue Storm, but this is the newer version of Blue Storm where there's more room behind the minerals at your natural expansion. So Flash could actually fit Marines back there if to keep maGma from doing too much harassment. And Flash just getting his engineering bay up and just perfect timing. Flash, very, very, very smart player. He's got a really good timing sense in general. And you can see that by the fact that he just threw up a bunch of missile turrets right at the last second. Like right as the Mutalisks were hatching, those turrets were all going up all at the same time. And now, so he didn't waste it. Well, he didn't use minerals he could have used otherwise by making those turrets too early. But he also didn't get cut off guard by having too few turrets too late. That makes sense. Okay. maGma is getting his third gas now. He's opted to go for the gas in the top left instead of going for his mineral only, and I think that's kind of safe. He does have, I mean, that's the point of the Mutalisk harassment, is that you can keep the Terran pinned back in their base while you while you do other things like teching, for instance. That's why he's got the den up that we see now that the commentators have selected. So you